And he's a very likable guy. But you know, here comes this Bluff Creek massacre, or the massacre of Bluff Creek. I know your opinion differs, and now I want to give your chance. I know a good friend of yours, the late Bill Miller, did a great paper. You and him worked on the paper together. I think we have a picture of you and Bill. There's a picture of you and Bill right there. What is that print you're holding up there? Is that is that something you guys cast yourself, or can you see that?
That's just one of two cast Roger Patterson cast the day he shot the film on October 20th.
Okay, so let's talk about the lack of evidence and your opinion. Now I have some slides and some pictures that you sent me with the pilot, the proof of the pilot, all that stuff. Let's go. Walk us through what really happened and with the two different films and the you know, go.
Okay, this is what I believe happened. We kind of blame ourselves a little bit for this, about how this whole massacre, MK came out with this whole massacre nonsense. At the time we were working on this book, the Bigfoot Film Journal.
Okay.
Christopher L. Murphy. I was doing editing work on it for him. And through him, and that time we all had a high regard for MK because he had done great stabilization work beforehand on the Patterson Gimlin footage.
Which is why he won Bigfoot of the Year, right?
Right.
In 2007?
Yeah, and one of the things we sent him through Chris Murphy and Rick Knoll, we sent him a lecture copy that John Green had put together in the early 70s for public speaking purposes. Remember, this is before the internet, before any of that. So when you gave a public talk, you showed slides from a slide projector, you showed movies from a film projector, right?
Mm-hmm.
John Green had this lecture copy that was 7 different films all spliced together, and the Patterson Gimlin footage was on it. And a lot of the Blue Creek Mountain footage was on it as well, from August, September 1967.
And I have some stills that you sent me, so if you at any point want me to put them up, just let me know.
Right. Now, what happened was none of the Blue Creek Mountain footage before this time in 2009 had ever really been seen on the internet before. I believe MK was looking at that Blue Creek Mountain footage, not realizing what it was, and he was looking at what he thought was never before seen portions of the Patterson Gimlin film.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And he came up with this wild cocktail's theory that they were all down there, and as far as he was concerned, and others like David Pilates and the late Bobby Short all got in on it. And we first heard about this because Pilates and Bobby Short were sending strange emails to John Green saying, "Hey, John, you got to come clean about what really happened in October." And John had no idea what the hell they were talking about. And they're sending messages to Al Hodgson and people like that. And of course, Al Hodgson was a friend of ours, so anything they said to him, we heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, this wild theory came out about that John Green, Rennie DeHinden, and Bob Titmus were all down there, and they had shot a whole family of Sasquatch, and Titmus had skinned them there, and they buried the evidence, and basically spent the next 40 years saying we need a body or a piece of the body, even though they had found the evidence right there. I mean, it was just tinfoil hat nonsense as far as I was concerned. We couldn't believe it, and they wouldn't listen to us. And so what happened was we started telling you, hey, you're completely off the rocker on this. This is nonsense. And they looked at the Blue Creek Mountain footage and the film clips of Keith Kazera, the pilot. And because he kind of looks from profile kind of similar to Titmus, they assumed Titmus was there.
Okay, that's up on screen now. Is the slide that you showed me?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and you see the little insert, Bob Titmus, and what he looked like. Bob Titmus was in his late 40s at that time, and Keith Kazera was in his late 20s. And Keith Kazera is a very tall man. He's 6 feet 5 inches tall. He's almost as tall as Green. Whereas Bob Titmus was actually 2 inches shorter than I am. He was only 5'6".
Mm-hmm.
But they insisted, and they said their unnamed experts confirmed that this was Bob Titmus. And I said, who are your unnamed experts? M.K. Davis and Pilates? You know, and they were all, and we published So we decided we're going to do something about that. It was Bill Miller's idea. We should write an article telling what we know. And it came out, and here's a copy of it right here. The Massacre at Bluff Creek, exposing this tinfoil hat theory and what complete utter nonsense it was. And we showed that it was a guy named Keith Kazera who was the pilot. And we even published his logbook. And
I have that right here. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, they were all in the article. Yeah, go ahead, put that up.
Okay, let me find it here for a second.
Yeah.
There it is. All right, so there's the logbook.
Yeah, there it is. And you look down and you see Orleans, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines down. That's the flight logbook for that trip, flying John Green.
Right there.
Yeah, Rennie DeHenden, Dale Moffat, and the track and dog White Lady, all down to Orleans, California, and they landed the plane there, and they went by jeep and truck to the Blue Creek Mountain site. Right. And Keith Kazera, he didn't really want to sit and camp by his plane for a week, so they said, come on, you can help us. And he went along, and it's him you see mostly carrying the shotgun and Rennie DeHenden's Blue Creek Mountain footage. But according to M.K. Davis, this was, and he denies it now.
Well, he was. We had him on the ropes. I'll say.
Well, he's in major damage control. He says, how do we know this? How do we know that? How do we know it? Well, we got the word they even shot a film in October 1967. Where was the film developed? No one knows. Well, I can tell you where the film was developed. It was filmed at the Ford Motion Picture Lab at 306 Fairview Avenue, North Seattle. I can even give you the damn phone number if you like.
See, and that's the thing is the report that you and Bill did was, I mean, it really nailed it on the head. And that's why I'm hoping that people that watched the show, the MK Davis show, as late as MK went on, can understand the other side of the fence right now with what Thomas is talking about. So, so go ahead.
Okay, it's bad enough he had this weird, wacky theory, and he wasn't going to admit he was wrong. But he took stills from the Blue Creek Mountain footage and messed with the contrast and intentionally made the water look red. And he made the pilot's hand, who he was claiming was Bob Titmus at the time, made his hands look red.
Yeah, I got that one. We can pop up there too.
Right. And of course, they're all saying this is Bob Titmus at the time. And they made his hands look red. And the one on the far right are clear non-tampered version of that film. You see his hands aren't red at all. But the biggest way you can tell he tampered with the contrast is that light brown pickup truck in the background looks bright blood red too. So
well, the story was that the dog attacked.
That was the time. And if you look at the whole footage, the dog is just wagging his tail and jumping up, and he's petting it. And then later on, you see what Moffat walk White Lady past his puddle of water, and he made that all look red and said that was some of the discarded carcass, and the dog's attracted to it. It says, no, it's not. It's just a puddle of water. If you look at the untempered version, you even see the dog's reflection in it. Now, a lot of people don't like to, it's bad enough he came with this theory, but when you alter images to give a false impression of what people are looking at, that's hoaxing by any definition I know.
Amen. Yep.
So as far as I'm concerned, we caught M.K. Davis red-handed hoaxing.